Hey there, guys. What is going on? Sloppy here, playing some more Creativerse on the Creatinators server. And, doing some farm maintenance over here. We, never actually finished planting the whole farm, so I thought, you know what? We all know Side Master's not going to come over here and do it. The man hates farming. He doesn't even believe it's the backbone of America. If you ask him, he thinks all farming should be done internationally. It's a shame, really. Support your country, man. Anyway, I don't know what that rant was about. You do you. Whatever makes you happy. I mean, there's things you can't grow in certain places, right? You need warm climates, cold climates. It's not important. Anyway, I was planting stuff, and I figured this would be a good time to start recording because I broke my plow. I broke my plow, and now the only thing I came over here to do was plant a bunch of stuff, and I can't even do that. So, yeah, it's been a real good start. It's been a real good start, but I do have something really cool to start today. What? I said start a lot. I have something really cool I want to get started today as a build. But first, let's go check out what was happening. Let's go check out the teleporter. That's what we did last time. I just want to show you guys it. Yeah. I just want to show you guys it. Oh my goodness. This is why I shouldn't record this early in the morning. My speech and my brain are on different wavelengths today. That's Remy's thing we saw last time, the Temple of Anubis, which he was supposed to be working on. Well, I'm recording right now, but no. He decided to do adult things instead of play Creativerse. Unbelievable, that guy. Anyway, let's follow this really long pathway. Bloop, 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 boom, bum, bum. That's walking music, that's okay. There's the repository and library that Tashlin is building. It is gorgeous. I mean, just such a cool thing, man. Just so cool. And there's the zoo, and let's see, there's our teleporter room. There's our teleporter room. I like it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Couple things we need to add. Arc signs. We need to hook up the teleporters to the actual places we want them to go. You know, various things like that. But it gave me an idea, and this is something that I've been wanting to do for a while. That doesn't really have anything to do with this room. I just thought I'd show you guys what we worked on last time if you happen to miss the last few episodes. The finished teleporter room, where none of the teleporters actually work yet. But, well, these ones actually all work. All four of the ones to the biomes below us all work, which is kind of nice. But the ones to individual biomes don't work yet. I was going to do those in a live stream Tuesday and Thursday. I live stream Creativerse if you're interested in such things. But, yeah, I'll do those in a... I have sort of an idea. I want to do a different landing pad thing for each of the different biomes. And I want to use, like, different blocks. You know what I mean? So I think that'll be really fun, but it'll take a really long time. I'll hook up the teleporters, but I want each of these to have sort of an individual landing, quote-unquote, house thing. I think it'll just be a really fun build. So, you know, we'll have, you know, in the swamp, we can try and make it look all, maybe like a witch's hut, perhaps. Wait, that's, you know, all like gross and swampy. I think that'll be cool. Maybe we can have an igloo for the frozen desert, you know, that sort of thing. That's sort of my plan for where these teleporters are going to end up. But I don't want to work on that today. That's not something I want to do today. Today, I want to do something a bit different that's going to require a little bit of testing and a little bit of finagling and kajiggling and all those types of words. And yeah. So, let me go get some blocks because I think it's important that we do this properly. But look at spawn, man. We're going to be working in spawn today. That's should be also noted. We're going to be working in spawn today because there's something that's been bugging me about it that I think we could work on to improve it. Just lovely. Just a lovely area. Coffee acquired. I'm feeling better. Don't know if my brain and mouth will still work together, but it's all good. Whatever. I thought I would show you guys the annual progress update on the arena here. We're moving into the detail section. I think all the wiring is done. I tried to make this look all broken down, and so we're kind of moving into the detail section. This is sort of rough sketches of things we can put. I wanted to get some like cobblestone in the wall. We want to make this look really sort of abandoned and sort of sort of left behind, you know, sort of a remnant of Forgotten Era. And that's sort of what we're going to be rolling with for this build. We're going to do leaves and vines and all that sort of stuff, and really try and make it feel, I guess, abandoned and whatnot, which I think will be a really cool vibe to play in. But yeah, this is how it's looking. I'm not sure exactly how much the last progress update showed. We now have both spawns done, which is kind of cool. So both spawns are the doors along the back corner here. So this is where you would put your touchstone down, and on top of these blocks. This is the one side that I think we've shown you. I kind of wanted to make it look like a nuclear bunker, and I think it actually ended up having more of a submarine vibe, but I really dig it. These industrial walls are so beautiful, and it just looks great. I love this room back here, sort of a funny ode to like a different time, almost, in my opinion. Like, that's sort of what I was going for. Like, oh yeah, look at this like normal life with a couch and a TV, and then you're like in this screwed up post, I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, this is the one side. The other side is a little bit different. I wanted these sides to feel very different, and they do feel very different. The only downside being I really like that one, and this one is, it's okay. It's okay. This is also, we were mocking up a hut. So this is where you would go into. The monster's going to spawn down there that you have to kill. I don't know if I've actually ever explained the game on YouTube. I'll do it another time. But yeah, this is the other side. The other side isn't nearly as closed off. We have these amazing views. That one's under a mountain, so that's why I sort of got the bunker vibe. Whereas this one is all these amazing views, so I decided to roll with that, you know? So, I mean, that stuff won't be there, but yeah, I decided to roll with the amazing views because I think it's a lovely area and we might as well show it. So it's kind of cool. These are the two sides. Also, there's a lot of these industrial graded walls, which are something. They're a block. They are a block for sure that exist in this game. So that's the annual update on the arena. Again, I live stream on this channel and Twitch. Tuesday, well, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but Tuesday and Thursday I stream Creativerse. The other days I do not. I usually stream Paladins. Anyway, back over to spawn. I mostly came over here to drop off blocks. Look how clean my inventory looks. Ooh, looking good. All right, over to spawn. Bloop. Well, before we talk about what I want to build over at spawn, I wanted to show you guys how Remy's Inn works, because I recently found out myself, and it's pretty neat. Remy built this this inn over here, which is gorgeous, and just a lovely place to relax, but it also functions as an inn. So basically, you open a door and you... maybe that one doesn't work. I don't know how many of these actually work. Maybe this side. I've done this before, I swear. Something's supposed to happen, but I can't remember if it's like specific ones or... There we go. Okay, right, I forgot. You need to stand in it and close the door. But then you get teleported down to these beautiful rooms and you can sleep. Which is lovely. Which is lovely. These lovely little rooms. Well, they're okay. There's not much to them, you know? Like, if I came here as a hotel, I'd be like, well, this is a little barren for me personally, but that's all right. And then you get teleported back up here. There's all kinds of magic happening. Whew. Okay, let's talk about what I want to build over here at Spawn. So, something that's been bugging me is established June 5th. There you go. It's bigger on the inside. I get it, because it's... Anyway. Something that's been bugging me is that the touchstone that everyone comes to spawn in is down here. Side in the pink, luckily, before he vanished off the world, still to be saved, put down his touchstone right here. Beautiful location. You spawn in, and it's really nice because everyone has their touchstones at their bases, right? Which just makes sense. But you spawn in, you're like, oh, okay, beautiful, I'm at spawn. You have to run outside here, and then go to where you're going. And as you can see, I'm already just wasting valuable time. I'm all for paths and having these beautiful pathways and walking to get places, but sometimes you don't want to walk. Sometimes you want to get places fast. And that's what I want to work on today. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I want to work on today, is a way to get around spawn quickly. a way to get around spawn quickly. Sort of a subway system of sorts, but we're going to use teleporters instead of like ice roads. Maybe we'll go and put those in, you know, 1 day, but not 2 day. You know what I mean? And the biggest thing I want to do with these teleporters is have them conveniently located so that there's always one close to you so that you can get around spawn really quickly, but not too close together. You know what I'm saying? And I think the first thing to figure out with teleporters is you don't want a loading screen. Loading screens take time and are annoying and suck. So I want to find out how far I can go in a teleporter without a loading screen. And then we can sort of figure it out from there. I don't think it'll be a huge issue because I have been sort of thinking about where I want to put these anyway, and it doesn't seem like a huge distance, but I do want to just sort of try it out. So yeah, let's first experiment with that. We're going to put one right here on this bridge, and we're going to do slash coords. I don't remember the command. I don't remember the command, but okay. This portal's code will go grass, mushroom, grass, mushroom, teleports to grass, moss. Okay, cool. And then we are going to go to the very far end of, I guess, spawn. I mean, the thing is, this can be, you know, furthered anyway. So I'm not super worried about having to, like, you know, it can be expanded pretty easily. You just add another teleporter onto the end. So I'm not super concerned about having to do that. So I can sort of consider this the north end of spawn. Somebody started a treehouse blueprint. I'm not sure who, but they never finished it. So it's just kind of here. Oh, they claimed it. Rock out. Whose chunk is this? Busterland. Oh, okay. Let's see. Nope, he claimed this chunk. Okay, so why don't we just put it just on the outside here. There we go. Put it down here. I'm going to put these underground. We're going to try and make it... My idea is to sort of try and make it look like a subway. We're going to put it underground and try and do, like... Make it look like a subway, I think would be kind of neat. So let's see. This is to test whether or not we get a loading screen. Okay. It's a pretty good distance. It's actually not covering all of spawn, because I think spawn extends a little bit beyond the castle. The spawn, I'm saying that not as like spawn chunks or anything. I'm just saying general area in which I consider spawn personally, and that there might be stuff built. Okay, the world screwed up, but there was no loading screen. Good to know. Let's go even further with this guy. Let's go even further, and I guess we can fly. Let's go even further way back here. Even further. Yeah, yep. Like, I think somebody's building something really big back here, so I'm just going to sort of put it on the far edge of where that might be, even though this might be a little excessive. Like, there might not be one all the way back here, but at least we'll know. I'm also just curious about how far you can push a teleporter before it goes, whoa, man, chill, you know? I'm working my hardest, but I'm going to need a loading screen. Let's see it. Okay. That was a loading screen. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. That was a loading screen. Okay, so that's too far. That's too far. I haven't measured these. That was a pretty solid amount of chunks, though. I kind of assumed that would be too far. So now the question becomes, if we put an intermediate teleporter between these two, are we going to get a loading screen? So if we have a teleporter, say, directly in the middle of these two, does it skip the loading screen, or is there a specific chunk line where it's going to need to load? I guess that's what I'm questioning. So this teleports to mushroom. This teleports to mushroom. Okay, let's do that really quick. I'm doing this all on camera, and I realize this is kind of boring, but maybe some people are interested in it. And I'll be done soon, and then I think it'll sort of... Okay. So let's... this portal's code will be this. This teleports to Mushroom, and we'll teleport to Wood Rod. Okay, and then we're going to make the next one Wood Rod. Give me a second, I'll set it up. Ah, the setting sun in Creativerse. Isn't it a beautiful sight? Anyway, I know I said I'd be coming back with the testing. I did it. Yes, it took a while because I screwed a bunch of stuff up, and I got confused about the codes I was using and whatnot. But you can, if you put teleporters close enough together, you can be fine. You can be, okay, so yeah, that's good. That's good to know. If you put teleporters close enough together, you're actually completely fine. You don't get the loading screen. So if we have them, you know, actually, they don't need to be all that close together. I was sort of measuring by chunks on the map. So I would say, I mean, it wasn't exact testing, but it's about 3 to 4 chunks, sort of that 3.5 border. It seems to start to need a loading screen. So we actually got quite a bit of room to play with. So next up on my list of things to do, and I just realized how long some of this testing has taken, so I'm not going to show you any more of that. I think what I want to do next is sort of figure out where would probably be good to have stations. You know what I mean? I think it'd be good to know sort of where would be good to have stations. I've said that. So I want to get a block, just like a random block that nobody's using around spawn, and just sort of mark out places. And one thing I want to bring up was that I don't really want to, maybe we can... one thing I wanted to bring up was that, if you guys have ever been to Montreal, there's this really cool thing with the subway in Montreal that every station was designed by a different architect, which is really cool because it means every station's a little bit unique. A lot of them are very similar, but every station's a little bit unique, and I really like that idea. I don't want any two of them to be sort of too, well, I don't mind if they're similar, but I don't want them to be the exact same. So what I was thinking is if I lay these out, essentially I'll put down the teleporters, I'll set up all the codes so that it's all functional, but hopefully other people might come and build them here and there, which I think might be kind of cool. Yeah, so anyway, I'm going to go around and sort of see where I want stuff to be. So I can... This is kind of central, isn't it? I've also been thinking it might make sense to have a central... sort of a central station from which stuff goes, well, north, south, east, west would make the most sense for lines, right? Because essentially what you want is to create a system where people can just hold forward, right? You walk through this one, you walk through this one, eventually you'll end up at the end of the station or whatever station you wanted to get to. And I want them to be further enough apart that if you're just mindlessly holding right, if you're mindlessly holding forward, you won't accidentally walk through it, right? That's sort of my idea. I also was thinking maybe it might be nice if you could flip a lever of where you actually want to go when a fan turns on and sort of blows you out when you get close. I don't know. We'll figure that out at some point. But yeah, I think a little thought is what's required right now. And I think it is time that I do that. Alright, so these are what I'm putting around spawn. And I think I've got a pretty good idea of where we're going to want these. But I'm basically going to leave them up for a bit and see. These two are too close together. Yeah. This one's sort of a... This one is sort of a hub, though, because it'll go, I think, both directions, sort of along the coast up here. So that's good. And then we need one at the farm. You, sir, are too close to the other guy here. Maybe, like, down here. Well, do we need one over here? Yeah, because somebody might build something here. This one's sort of like one of those ones where I'm like, is it too close to other ones? You know what I mean? because there's one in the castle. There's one right there. I don't know. Sidon Masters join the world. Oh no. Darkness ascends. Yeah, this one's subject to move, but one in the castle. There's going to be one on the far side there, and then we're going to have a line that goes... So that's the line that's going to... We're basically, I think, running a two-line system. I'm also really excited to try and make a map for this, because it's going to be... I have a really cool idea about how to make a map. I have a really cool idea of how to make a map for the subway that I'm pretty happy about. So we'll have another one or two going that direction, and then the one going east-west here. So this is east-west. We're going to have a couple going that way, a couple going this way. But what intrigues me is that it seems like we have a lot of stuff sort of off to the side. So I kind of want to, I don't know, maybe two lines going east-west. This is the point where I think it might be helpful to get your guys' opinions. Do you think it would benefit having basically one going up the side of this side and one going up the side on this side? Or would it be better to have one up and down the middle and then at specific stations basically have offshoots that go different ways? I'll wait to put up, because the one way is to basically do this. And have a line going straight down the middle all the way up, and you basically pop out here or wherever and then have to walk to your place. The other idea would be to have, well, I mean, it's a teleporter, right? So we don't need a straight line. So in theory, well, the inn's right here, but we'd probably want it down here, right? A little bit closer to where there's more stuff built. So in theory, you know, we leave the castle, you can come to right here. It's kind of nice. And then maybe the next one would be maybe over here. Maybe. Maybe. And then, yeah, I guess it doesn't need to be a straight line, right? We can sort of zigzag it across. And then maybe the next one is over next to that thing. The next one's at the treehouse. You know what? I kind of like the idea of a zigzag. Let me know what you guys think. Both of the project and this specific question. Would it be better to go straight and have offshoots, two lines, or zigzag it based on where stuff is? The other thing, I mean, we could put one there, and then the next one's like right here. You know, even that's a possibility. We can move this one further over that way and do like a straight across zigzag. You know what? I kind of like that idea, because then it's a straight shot, but you can actually have some difference. Interesting. Interesting, interesting. The other big thing that I've been thinking about is whether I want a centralized system, like a grand central station that you can actually go to any specific subway, which I think I do want. But, so originally I was like, ooh, I'll build it right underneath the castle, right? I think that'd be really interesting. But the more I think about that, the more I'm sort of like, well... I don't want to build it right underneath the castle because I want to do a big exterior for it. Which is why I think I want to build it over here. I want it a little bit out because it's going to be a bit of a large build, and I'm not sure how large yet. The other big thing about it is I want to be able to build the subway map, which is going to be a bit of a large structure. So what I was thinking is taking this spot here and building it, and that way I can expand both directions if I want. I'm also tucked away a little bit so that I'm not blocking anyone else from building. So what I'm going to do is actually just put down a marker here, and hopefully nobody else was going to use this spot. I don't see anything, any signs or anything, so I think I'm safe. Yeah, I think I'm going to take this spot here. It's going to be a little large, and basically what the central station... It's going to have access so that you can go to any individual subway station. So basically really quick travel if you don't want to do the actual subway line. You just come right here from the castle. Okay, I want to go to the farms, bloop, bloop. So this is sort of the quick travel, but it also is going to house the subway map, as well as some other things. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. So subway station here. I want one over on the mountain there. Yes, I think we're going to zigzag. I think I've decided. You know what, let me try and figure out the exact way I want to zigzag. And the other nice part about the zigzag is if builds come up and I'm like, man, it would be great to be able to get there really quick. You know, bang, we add another zigzag. Zig, zig, zag. Alright, I think I've narrowed it down to 15. Where is this game audio, man? I have told you, I have been screwing with this game audio, trying to get it in videos for a while now, and, well, there's some of it. I don't... whatever. Anyway, Sidemaster logged off so I could sleep. I guess he wasn't near a bed. I've narrowed it down to 15 subway stations, which sounds like a lot, but... well, it is. It's a lot, but it's not that many. It's quite a large area, actually. When you start adding up everything I wanted to cover, it adds up a little bit. And I think that'll be good. It's a nice big project that I can work on, you know what I mean? Which I like. I like having big things to do. I think the next thing I actually want to start is 15, so that means I need 30 teleporters. So each station, unless it's a hub, in theory would have 2 teleporters. You walk through one into the next, right? I would think. Do I want to get the teleporter set up next, or do I want to... do I want to set up the teleporters next, or do I want to start work on Grand Central? I think I actually want to get started on Grand Central, even though it's not Grand Central. Grand left. Grand left to the center, which is sort of the castle. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave these pillars here for a day or two just to see what people on the server think of the idea, maybe. Also, where they are is not 100% yet. So I'm going to ask the opinion of some people on the server, and we might end up relaying out where they go, but I'll get that sorted really soon so I can put down the teleporters. Luckily, teleporters are really cheap. So anyway, over here is where we're going to be building our big old station. And for the first time in sort of, I think, well, no, actually, I built a bank on the old world I played on. I built a bank based off a cartoon image of a bank that I had in my mind, and then I saw in real life. And basically, for this train station, there's actually a train station in real life that I'm going to model it after, which is an image I'm going to put up on the screen right now. You see it? You see it? It's pretty cool, right? I'm going to try and make that, but in Creativerse, which is going to be tricky, I will admit. It's going to be tricky, but I wanted a bit of a challenge. I wanted to challenge myself, and I've never really tried to recreate things that I see in real life in a video game. It's just never been my style, so I figured it'd be kind of fun to give it a go. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. And I'm just going to get some blocks together. I think first things first, I just want to get a little bit of storage and sort of get the blocks that I need, so that way I can just really get into building. So without further ado, let's rock and roll. So I guess I didn't mention what station that actually is. That's Dunedin Railway Station. It's in New Zealand, in Dunedin, Dunedin, however you say it. I don't know how it's pronounced. But yeah, that's actually in New Zealand. And I was actually looking, there was a lot of places I was considering. The actual Grand Central or Penn Station, the one in Paris that's super famous that I'm forgetting the name of. But I decided to do the New Zealand one because I thought it was a bit different. I think a lot of the rail stations are pretty similar. Gare de Lyon was the one I was thinking of in Paris. That was the other one I was thinking. But the Dunedin, it's a bit different. It's got some colors to it. And yeah, I just kind of liked it. You know what I mean? I don't know. I liked it. I went and gathered. I actually was looking for a lot of salt rock, which I did not find a lot of. Got some iron, so I'm going to need to bring some excavators down to the stalactite layer, because I think that's what I want the floor inside to be a lot of, is stalactite, or salt rock. What is this? Salt rock. Salt rock. It's a beautiful block, and I think it'll be a nice floor. I think what I want to do, though, I'm not going to start too much building today, because I'm just not entirely sure what materials I'm going to use yet, but I think I can lay out sort of the dimensions of this place, because it's going to be pretty big. And I'm not too worried about what the inside's going to look like yet. So I think what I want to do is lay out sort of what to expect from this place a little bit. So, I popped up the picture earlier, but essentially there's a big tower at one end. It's a little bit rounded. There's a bit of an interesting roof. It's a pretty interesting place. I've never been to New Zealand, but it's a very interesting build, which intrigues me. So I think what I'm going to do is lay out a little bit of a facade. I say facade, what I mean is I'm going to put like a single block down and just try and get the width and stuff right for it. Because with this build, I would love to be able to have it in my mind, get all the blocks together, and just build it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. And this episode is getting a little long anyway, so I think I'm just going to try and get the dimensions or so of it, and then we are going to rock and roll. What? No, we're not going to rock and roll right now because we're not going to build anything. We're just getting the layout of where it's going to be and whatnot. Yes. Not rock and roll. Alright, a bit of a layout done. So, I'm not gonna, well, you guys saw the image before, but essentially, the way the station sort of looks is, there's basically three, I guess I call them accents, separated by like some arches and such. So, that's sort of what I've been going on. Is I will figure out where I want those accents and then build it out from there. So I think the first thing I would build is the tower itself and sort of the part next to it. So this is where the tower, basically one end is a tower, if you guys remember the picture. I'm not going to throw it up again because that's too much editing for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm a basic guy. This is where there's basically a tower on one end. This is where the big tower is going to be. And then there's basically these arches, sort of a facade. And then there's the main entry point, I would call it. Sort of the main entrance. And then it goes on a little bit more and there's sort of another part at the end. So that's basically what I've laid out. It's going to be pretty large, as you can see. I mean, that's, what, 50, 60 blocks long. And then it's going to be quite tall. I'm trying to give myself enough room to be able to add quite a bit of detail to it, because if you look at the actual picture, there's a lot of detailing, which I'm probably not going to be able to do a lot of it just because we don't really have access to those blocks in this game. But I'm going to try. I'm not trying to make excuses, but I'm definitely going to try. That's sort of the point of this build, is to sort of push myself. So, yeah. I hope you guys are excited about this build. I think it'll be a lot of fun and be kind of a cool addition to Spawn. I hope you guys are excited about the Subway-esque system and everything. Let me know in the comments what you think of it. If you have any ideas, if I said something that was completely absurd and you're like, wait a minute, that's probably not how it should work. I'm curious to see what you guys think and sort of the ideas you guys have for it. But I think it's going to be pretty neat, and I think it's going to be pretty useful to get around Spawn, because it's a bit, I wouldn't say a hassle now, but, you know, it can be a little bit of an annoyance. So let me know what you guys think of the whole thing. Next time, I think we might start work on this, but I also would like to actually get the subway going, which means digging out a few stations and putting down teleporters, I guess. So yeah, I'm curious to see what you guys think. Gonna talk to some of the other people on the server, see what they think. And I will catch you guys next time. So leave a like if you enjoyed. Hopefully we have a pretty healthy comment section in this video, because I think I'm going to need some help. And subscribe for more Creativerse, more Creativerse and all that sort of thing. And I will catch you guys next time. Ciao!